let me turn the TV down a little bit.
Well, we have been traveling far. Of course, I just returned from Mexico down there. Trump and I just left with our big speech with the Mexican president down there. I tell you what, I've seen some class acts in my day, but when the president of Mexico invites both Donald Trump and Hillary to come down there to discuss whatever relationships, what have you, Donald Trump accepts. Hillary Clinton doesn't have a clue what she's doing. I mean, unbelievable. And then she has the audacity to knock Trump for going, saying he's interfering with relationships and American security and this and that and homeland and all this crap. I mean, where is this lady coming from? Unbelievable. So what she's done is she's cemented her place into a corner and she can't get out of it. She can't go to Mexico now. She knocked Trump for going. Does this lady have any concept of anything at all? Of what anything means? She doesn't get it.
She don't even know how to put makeup on.
Well, I don't know how do you determine that? How do you put makeup on a pig?
I tell you, thank you for inviting me to be part of your show today.
Well, that's my guest here, Rolando Larraz. I thought he had something important to say here about
my
Trump.
day off.
Yeah, I came in.
You didn't tell me I was going to be in camera.
Well, I was in Mexico. I had to take
I
care
have
of
no
business down
idea
there.
how my face looks. I have no idea how my hair is done.
Well,
you know.
you're like Hillary. You got to put on your makeup, you know.
I tell you, my friend, I am very, very proud of Donald Trump. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel. And I tell you, I can see a brighter future for the United States of America. I was very depressed yesterday. When depressed today, I thought maybe he have changed his mind. Maybe, and it bothers me when people criticize him, and I kind of agree with the critic. But seeing that man in Mexico, first of all, he got the courage to go to a place where they was supposed to hate him, and he didn't know he was going to be killed over there.
Well,
I always look at the worst part. I always look at the worst part. You know, and I'm sure that if anything would have happened to him, Obama and Hillary and all these Democrats, Harry Reid, and even McCain, they will not do anything to find out the truth. I was very concerned about all those little details. I'm glad that everything worked. He shows to be, as a matter of fact, he shows so much to be a presidential image. Then that guy on News Fox made a mistake, called him President Fox, President Trump.
Well, I can understand that. Just look at the way he looks, my God.
He looks president, And you know, I hate to say that because everybody knows that I'm not a Democrat. He looks so much, and he reminds me, and people think I'm crazy when I say that, to John F. Kennedy. Either the way he stand up, the way he combed his hair, you know, I don't know why. He remind me of John F. Kennedy. For some reason, I wish he would remind me of Ronald Reagan, and which was my idol, but you know, it's not that way. I'm glad that trip took place. I'm glad, and I look forward to November 8th. I don't think I'm gonna be retiring in November 9th, like I said. I really honestly, I was looking forward to that retirement. I was making plans to go to California and to go to New York for a few weeks. And I was making plans to enjoy the few days I got left in this life. But, it's not true. I don't think I'll be retiring. I do still say if Hillary Clinton wins, I will close my business. That's for sure. Because I don't believe it's going to be any democracy. I don't think it's going to be any freedom of the press. And I believe that newspapers like Las Vegas Tribune or Radio Tribune will not have any room in her cabinet, in her administration. So, but anyway, I didn't mean to take over your show. You listening to
You're
her.
always welcome. When Obama came into office, in this country we have circuit courts, U.S. circuit courts. They're actually the appeal courts for the lower district courts and so forth around the country. And the president stacks those decks with appointees, okay? When Obama came into office, 3 of the 13 circuits were basically controlled by liberals, liberal judges. Okay, now Obama's been in office for 8 years, and 9 out of the 13 are controlled by liberals. So he's been stacking the court deck. And now if Hillary Clinton gets in office, she's going to complete the job, and all 13 circuits will be controlled by liberal progressives. And then what she's going to do to the Supreme Court is going to annihilate that, and we're going to end up with all Ruth Ginsburgs on the Supreme Court. So we're going to have an entirely progressive, liberal country. We'll have more bathroom deals like the LBGT, whatever the hell that is. And I mean, it's going to be despicable.
But let me tell you, look at in the bright side.
There's no bright side to that one.
Well, if they win, we don't gonna need judges because it's not gonna be justice. It's not gonna be a court. It's not gonna be any of that stuff. The judges are gonna retire with a full salary, and they're not going to be doing anything else.
Well, I think you won't have the judiciary system to straighten out any conflicts. So what you'll do, I'm buying stock today in Murder Incorporated. I think that stock will take off because instead of going to court and filing a suit against somebody that did you wrong, you just make a deal with Murder Incorporated.
I know, but Mayor Lansky is dead, Ben Siegel is dead,
But Murder Incorporated is doing fine. There's all new blood. They all had sons and offspring, of course. Murder Incorporated, that's the way to go. Instead of suing somebody and taking them to court, you'll just...
So why don't we apply for a branch office in Nevada?
Well, maybe we should.
We take care of the
That's
situation.
fine, we'll buy some stock. We'll become a major stockholder.
We are just kidding, FBI. We are just kidding, Justice Department.
Well, I'll tell you what, you may be kidding, but what else would you do when you don't have any judiciary at all that you can rely upon, which Nevada you can't right now. So I mean, what in the hell are you gonna do? If you sue someone in a Bill Gephardt's court, you end up paying the loser's attorney fees. It's like the bank paying the bank robbers attorney fees. I mean, is this guy got any brain at all?
I told you from day one, I believe that is called loyalty. It's nothing else. He's been trying to be loyal to George Allen Earl. Okay. And that's all it is, and now he don't know how to get out of there. Because who knows what kind of deal George Earl made with those lawyers. Who knows what those lawyers know about George Earl. It cannot be anything job related because he already admitted and from the bench that he know nothing about trust. I read the transcript. He said, I have never done a trust in my whole life, none as a judge, none as an attorney.
Yeah. I'm learning as I go.
Learning as I go. Yeah. So it's not related to work. It must be related to a private life. I don't know if he got a branch office of Monica Lewinsky and his chamber or what? I don't know.
I was talking to a lawyer today that had one of Earl's last cases before he left the bench. One of the last cases that he thinks he may have had the last case. During this proceeding, Earl fell asleep. And the lawyers didn't know what to do, because how do you go on when the judges are sleeping? So they got a hold of John, the bailiff, who I know personally, and he had to go up and kind of like start nudging Earl to wake him up. And this is a guy, a district court, this is a judge you can really be proud of, folks. This is a guy, well, how many hours does he work a day? 3, 4 at the tops on a busy day, and he can't stay awake? What kind of judge is that?
So you think that is a real, you think he retired because he was really ill? Or
in 09,
because remember, I told you I don't think he was retired because he was sick, because he was ill. I think he retired because he saw his dirt coming down this train, and I thought he was just running away from the trouble.
Could be a combination of all those things. He had a quadruple bypass in 09, and in the court sessions I had in 2012, he would leave the bench and walk to the bathroom, and he'd be gone like a Hillary Clinton for 15, 20 minutes. You wonder if he's all right in there. And it would take him 5 minutes to walk to the bathroom and 5 minutes back just to go from across the room. I mean, he wasn't in very good shape.
But he wasn't in the bathroom with Hillary Clinton. Right?
I don't know. I couldn't see who was in there.
Oh.
You know, these judges, they have their all rise, so they have their own bathroom facilities, you know, so they get to go places that we don't. That's laymen.
But at his age, he doesn't have too much to rise, right?
Well, no, it's the other people that he doesn't have to rise at all.
Oh my gosh.
But I think David, the court clerk, was in there in that little incident with him sleeping. They didn't know what to do because the lawyers are all looking at the court clerk, and the clerk's like throwing up his hands. What am I supposed to know about it? I mean, you know, but what a ridiculous situation. And this is a court system you can really be proud of, Nevadans. I tell you what, you have judges stealing people's money, and we're just not people. We don't have money to steal. What we have was a house that we owned for 50 years, and that house was in New Hampshire. It wasn't in Nevada. You can't steal a house. If you're a judge in Nevada, you can't make an order to sell a house in New Hampshire. Who the hell thinks like that? The guy's crazy. And why did he do that? To pay lawyers.
So let me ask you something, Clark. Who do we have to blame here? Why the higher ups allow these things to happen?
Well, that's
how
the
this
problem.
thing happened?
Well, you have chief judges who are administrators that just kind of like make the schedule of what cases go to who and this and that. So they're just kind of like an organizer, if you will, a manager of the caseloads. They can't say anything to a judge, supposedly, when the real truth is, I think any judge that sees another judge not doing his job for whatever reason has an obligation to report that judge. Who do you report it to? You should have to report it to like the chief judge, wouldn't you think? Doesn't that make sense? When you're in school and you have a problem with another teacher, as a teacher, do you report it to? How about the principal? Does that make any sense? You got to report it to somebody that's in charge. You can't go to another judge and say, hey, wake up, you're breaking the law. You have to have somebody else do that. Somebody that's in authority. We have this crack discipline board committee, whatever that is. They do nothing, nothing. In 2013, they asked for more money because of their tremendous workload. It was just overwhelming. And in that year, they did nothing. In 2014, they put up for a disbarment one Stephen Jones, who was convicted of a crime he's in jail right now. That's what they did.
He's out.
Okay, well, that's what they did in 2014. That was what they needed an increase in budget for, to disbar a judge that was convicted. Great job, we really need you. How much does it cost us for that committee? We have 7 members on there, whatever their salary is. One of them is a Supreme Court justice. 3 of them are lawyers practicing law. So right away it's 4 to 7. The deck's already stacked. And then you're supposed to have 3 laymen. Well, who are these laymen? And what are their political connections and so forth? So it's a stacked deck. Nobody gets any, there's nobody disciplined. Yeah, if you're convicted, you get disciplined. Thanks. We really need you. What that committee needs to be made up of are all laymen with no ties to anybody in the judiciary at all. No lawyers, no judges. That's the only way you're going to get a civil tribunal that oversees the courts.
But the only problem with that is you're going to get a bunch of people in there that know nothing about law, that know nothing about the track record of the case, and it has no opinion.
You get a complaint that somebody files that the judge didn't follow this statute, and this statute. So he did not uphold the law in Nevada. That's the complaint. Anybody can read the complaint, look at the statute, and look at the ruling. If the judge didn't rule by the law, then that's an invalid ruling and it's void. Very simple. Anybody that can read with anything between their ears at all can do that. You don't need to be a lawyer. As a matter of fact, being a lawyer hurts you because you no longer have any common sense. At some point in your lawyer's career, all your common sense goes out the window because all you're used to doing is arguing. It's taking one side or the other and distorting the other side, distorting the law, distorting the language, adding adjectives that mean nothing, trying to distort the meaning of everything. Like in New Hampshire, the Supreme Court read a statute that said you must appoint someone named in the document first as a trustee. You must. Must is mandatory. It means you must do it. You have no choice. And they changed the language in my ruling and said that the statute read should. No, the statute doesn't read should. It reads must. Any layman, anybody with any education at all, knows the difference between should, which is discretionary, and must, which is mandatory. How does the Supreme Court with 5 justices change the language in a statute?
Because they used to be a defense attorney before they become justices.
Right. That's why that goes to my point.
They used to be prosecutors before.
So that's the last person you need to be overseeing the judiciary system is somebody that has operated in the system for any length of time.
And people tell me that I'm cynical when I refer to the system. This system is broken. They're simple as that. This system, no, it's not broken anymore. The system do not exist anymore. Remember what we talked last week about this guy? He was accused, well, it wasn't in the other paper, in the daily paper. The guy got accused of molesting his daughter. They go to court, and then 18 years later, the kid said, no, 12 years, I think it was, 18. 18 years later, the kid said, I was forced by my mother to do that. And now, the Review Journal is asking that that little girl be punished for that. No, she cannot be punished. The mother and the prosecutor and the judge should be punished for that crime.
That's exactly
not the little girl. She was forced to lie. She was forced to commit perjury. That's what it was.
How about the other case that I think was here in Vegas, where the mother was showing the little girl, maybe she was 5,
how she masturbated with 2 fingers.
And then says, you see what happens here and how this is done and so forth? So you know by watching these films, that's what your father did to you.
She was 12 years.
I mean, how despicable is that? And that's what mothers do. There are some women, that's the way they operate. If you go against them and you're having a divorce or whatever, you start fighting over custody of the child, the mother is going to come out with all this inflammatory dirt that's just dirt. It doesn't make any sense because it never happened. But they don't give a crap because that's the way they operate.
Yeah.
It's like a wife says that her husband raped her. Well, how the hell can you rape your wife? I believe, there's rape and there's rape. There needs to be a degree of rape. If you're talking about a husband and a wife, and the wife's going to get mad at the husband and scream rape, and you got enforcement officers like police or whatever, DA, that's going to take the woman's word for it and say the husband raped her because the woman was mad at the husband? Like, take Mike Tyson. He was in all the places to be stuck in the world, Indiana or someplace, where he got convicted, and I think there was an event or whatever, and he picked up this chick. They go to his suite, and then she wants a ride home with a limousine driver and this and that, and Tyson wouldn't get the limousine driver to give her a ride home. So she screams rape. And because Indiana has these archaic laws and so forth, he gets convicted. That's why she screamed rape.
That's like
he wouldn't give her a ride home.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson. He was railroaded.
Yeah, of course he was railroaded. First of all, he was famous. Second, he was black. How dare you gonna? Well, she was black too.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't remember what she was. All I know is that she must have been a bitch because I tell you, she should have never done that.
But there's something wrong with our laws when we have this.
She went to his room at 3 o'clock in the morning with a miniskirt. With a miniskirt, she lay in the bed, so the skirt go up, and
Jesus Christ. Like people don't know who Mike Tyson is or what he is. Mike Tyson, I used to be around him a little bit in Atlantic City. I'd see the way he operated. And Mike Tyson was famous, one of the most famous people in the world. And he was a woman hound dog, okay? But this is the way he operated. He'd go to a woman and he'd say, hey, you want to go up to my room? You don't? Excuse me, I see someone standing over there. He's got no waste of time at all. Just either I'm Mike Tyson, you're doing me, or you're not. Don't waste my time, I won't waste yours. Get out of my face. That's the way he operated. When you're famous like that, how many girls will go? Most of them. And then they get pissed off because your limousine driver won't give you a ride. Too bad.
Take a taxi.
Unbelievable. The laws in this country are just, first of all, the wrong people are in charge of the judiciary system that are not, there's no oversight. We need a layman civil tribunal oversight. In every town, every community needs 5 to 7 people elected by the voters to oversee complaints that are filed on actions, judges, whatever, complaints. They're written out, they point to what the problems were, and the layman can look at that and decide, well, did the judge follow the law? No, he didn't. Well, void order then. Simple as that. Or you have a rape case where a wife's accusing a husband of rape. I mean, shouldn't there be a degree of rape for that? That should be a misdemeanor, not to downplay the women. I'm sure maybe some husbands do rape their wives, but at what point does rape not apply to a wife? I mean, Jesus Christ, it doesn't make any sense to me. And then when someone takes
No, it doesn't make any difference if it's a wife or not. If the woman say no, it's no, period. It doesn't make any difference.
If you're walking by an alley and some guy you don't even know, never met in your life, grabs you, takes you into the alley with a knife to your throat and rapes you, that's friggin' rape.
Why would a guy in the alley is gonna grab me and, who? I'm 86 years. Well,
not you.
Oh, no, me. Oh,
I'm trying to be realistic here, not speculative.
Man.
But don't you think that's a little different rape than if someone rapes their wife?
Well,
and Donald Trump got accused of raping his first wife.
It could be sexual assault.
Well, it could be.
I don't want to be in that predicament, to be honest with you, because
it's not rape.
Eh?
It's not rape.
Well, it might not be rape, but it can be anything else. Then it's gonna cost you money to get out. I don't think. If she said no, it's no.
And the point
That's
is,
why I never had any problem.
well, the point is, that is subject to tremendous abuse by the woman, tremendous
The
abuse.
problem is that when the woman said no, you have to respect that. When the guy said no, I'm tired tonight, give me a rain check, they get mad.
Yeah, and then they scream rape.
You know, I don't think all the laws are equally to all the sex orientations. I think
You need oversight. That has to be the key. You need common sense oversight. You can't let the system take care of itself, because it won't do it. It will not do it. It can't do it. So it needs to be civil oversight. That's the answer to that one. That's the solution. The Be Heard is a show about solutions.
well,
So that's the solution.
I,
The other solution is we gotta get rid of these parties. Look at the court system, what I just explained. 3 out of 13 circuit courts were controlled by liberals. Now 9 out of 13 are controlled by liberals. You know why that is? Because of the political parties. You have Republicans and you have Democrats. They will never get along. On the best day in the world, they will never get along. They're diametrically opposed to one another because they're a party that isn't the other party. So they're never gonna get along. And that creates so many problems for this country. It's devastating the country is what it's doing.
they go back there to chambers and they flip the coin. This is your time today, and tomorrow is my time.
You know, how did Hillary Clinton win
that's
6
how
out of
they
6
do.
coin flips in Idaho?
Well,
She won 6 out of 6. How's that possible?
who knows?
How does she get 750 super delegates, put there by Debbie Wasserman Schultz to fix the election, fix the nomination process? She said that. She found emails and so forth that were exposed that dictated that. I mean, this is a corrupt organization. Both parties are corrupt. Why do we need them for? What do they do for you or me or any of the people in this country? They do nothing.
Well, it doesn't do much for me because I don't believe, like you said, I don't believe in voting in the party. I vote for the quality of the candidate. I support people that are going to do something for the community that I live on. It's like I wrote in my column today. I like Chris Giuliani. She don't like me, and I don't care. I think she got the best interest of the community at heart. You know, she had to play the game among the other commissioners, but I believe I like Carol Goodman, and I like because they not voting and they not doing anything with the intentions of pleasing those people sitting in the same table they are sitting.
Now, if there weren't any parties, that would be the situation with every voter. They would have to vote for the person. See how simple it is? You vote for the person. Because nobody's subject to these political parties.
And I see most people do that now.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope
Yeah,
somebody do it in this
I
election.
believe most people do that now.
Well,
And
I don't
that
know
is-
about that.
I don't know.
You
I
got the
don't-
blacks, 90-something% vote for the Democrats, and the Democrats don't do a damn thing for them except make them promises that they never keep. How many decades have they not kept
Maybe
the
they
promises?
like to be promised something that they know that they're never gonna get. That's probably the reason. It's like the Mexicans voting for Hillary Clinton or for Obama, knowing that 2 times he lied to them. Oh, we're gonna give you citizenship. You cannot do that.
Well,
And they keep behind him like he is God gift to the.
well, you take a black, let's see, like a Ben Carson, just to name one. Look how articulate he looks, the way he presents himself. He's not wearing his pants down by his ankles. He's not wearing a hat backwards. He doesn't have a big comb stuck in his hair coming out the back. He doesn't look like someone from the hood. He looks like a respectable
Human being.
Yes. And why can't more blacks aspire to be somebody like him? That's what you need in this country. But when you have a black man that has his
What's the name of
attributes,
the other black guy that was running for president one time? Tom, something. He's in TV once in a while now, giving opinions. I forgot his name.
Alan Keyes was white, wasn't he? Or was he black?
No, it's another guy.
Anyways.
Anyway,
But no matter who it
but
is,
it's still the same thing. He's a businessman. He dressed normal. I'm sure that they dress comfortable in the weekends.
well, the point is, every Democrat will badmouth a Ben Carson because of his views. He's a conservative, so he's an Uncle Tom, and they're going to attack him, and they're even going to call this Ben Carson a racist because he doesn't agree with all these liberal progressive blacks that vote in lockstep for people like Al Gore and Hillary Clinton and these people that promise them all these things, and they even change their speech. Like an Al Gore will get this accent like he's impersonating some kind of a pastor, a black pastor in church or something when he's talking to people. And Hillary Clinton, I don't mind, she goes with this southern twang or whatever it is, and she carries a hot sauce in her purse. I mean, these people are just pandering. And the blacks can't see that? They're being played like a fiddle. Wake up, black America. Jesus, start holding these Democrats accountable for what they are.
Some people are used to be mistreated. Some people like to be mistreated. It's like women that are abused by their husband.
95%?
It's like women that are abused by their husband. Or women like Hillary Clinton that the husband cheated on them right in front of their nose and they turn the face the other way. So
all right, well, how about Abdul Habla Haba Haba Huba Haba, whatever her name is, that just got rid of Wiener? Why doesn't she stand behind her man like Hillary Clinton did?
Oh, she will be back to him. Believe me.
Well, I don't know, but they have a conflict there.
I believe.
How come Hillary Clinton?
I believe if they allow the first time to happen and they forgive, it will be another time and another time and another time because they all come out with it. I'm sorry, I will not do it anymore. And 3 months later, they will do it.
Correct me if I'm not
my
right.
father used to have the third wife or second wife, I don't remember. And she see my father's car coming in with the mistress inside, and she turned the other way and looked at the view of something that she's been looking at since she was born, and because she didn't want to accept the fact that my father was going to a bedroom with a mistress, and she didn't want she pretended that she didn't see it. And she preferred to be married to my father even if he was cheating on her, and my mother didn't take that. First time, she cut it off completely. Nothing else, just him.
What was that lady's name that actually did cut it off?
Oh,
and the guy became a
Venezuelan girl, yeah, Venezuelan.
And the guy got it reattached, and he became a porn star.
Yeah, I forgot.
But anyways, that's going back to
Lorena Babbitt.
That's it. John Bobbitt.
John Bobbitt. Yeah, he worked over here in the ranch.
That's right. He was in Vegas. That's right.
She worked at in the Perron ranch, I think. I don't know what was he doing over there, but whatever it was.
But here you got Wiener. His crime, was sending pictures, which is disturbing in itself, because what kind of mentality does that? To strangers or people, however he found out these people's emails or whatever, he was sending pictures of himself.
Bill
Clinton had stains on dresses.
Yeah,
There's a big difference.
people get involved in the issues because they they want to get involved in those issues. You know, you cannot force anybody to be with you, man or woman.
Well, Bill Clinton
woman,
does.
woman or man, you know, it doesn't make any difference. I had a girlfriend for 12 years. One day she picked me up in the airport and she told me that she wants to move out. I said, what did I do wrong? She said, nothing, I just want to move out. Okay.
Why didn't she pick you up? Why didn't she just move out while you were gone?
Well, she was a decent woman. She didn't want to do it behind my back.
Oh.
So in the morning, while she was sleeping, I packed all this stuff and put them in the car. And when I forgot that she slept naked. Oh, where's my clothes? Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I forgot about it. I put them in the car. You can take that car, and when you find another car, you can bring it back.
New driving?
Huh?
New driving?
No. We
Did
didn't.
you give her a sheet or something?
No, I went to the car and.
Oh, what a gentleman!
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think we went together to the garage and they put. She picked something to put on. I don't remember. You know.
Relationships.
I don't.
Can't
You know,
live with
you
them. Can't
cannot
live
force
without.
anybody to be with you. That is a
Well,
normal
yeah,
thing.
people do
You
all
know,
the time, and
and
I can never understand that.
I believe then the best way to do it, you wait until the other party leave you. I never had any problem because every woman always leave me, always, and they don't like to be declined or refused or whatever the name is. They don't like to be turned down, so I wait until they turn me down, and I never had any problem. Not even my divorce was a problem. We went to dinner together. She signed the paper, and I went my way. You know, I don't force anybody to do anything, and I don't want to be like I seen this guy following the woman and see who is she gonna leave me for, and you know what the heck is this? You know, I don't believe it should be that way. She said no, it's no, period. Okay, honey.
Yeah, but certain people.
I know, no, I agree with you. It's people that cannot take rejections.
Yeah.
I take rejection with honor because I've been told that I got a very, very good taste for females. And so if I walk to a place and people look at my girl, my date or whatever, I'm proud. Then I do have good taste in females. And when they decide to call, and that's another thing, I always think that today is the last day. If we get to tomorrow, it's a victory. I always believe that. I don't believe that it's a long range term in any relationship.
Well, they call it the 7-year itch for a reason, because you get an itch after 7 years. You have to trade them in for a newer model.
And I got nothing but good memories of every one of my relationships. Nothing, like I said, even my wife, she was a good woman, she was a good mother, she was a good hostess, she was everything good, except she was too jealous. That's it.
Oh, now the truth comes out. Jealous of who?
No, I don't know. She goes to everywhere.
Oh, ghosts. Oh, okay.
You know. So, what happened now with Trump? You getting any new news?
Well, he's flying back. He's on his way to Phoenix right now. He's got a meeting there tonight, maybe with the ex.
McCain wasn't too happy with him today. They asked him and said, how do you like Donald Trump endorsing you? Well, I don't need Donald Trump.
Well, of course. I mean, he's a schmuck. He's a rhino. Never should have been reelected, but the person running against him, I guess.
Well, he don't know yet. He got to go to the.
Oh, he has to go to the general, but I
Yeah.
mean, he got past the nomination process. He was challenged
Yeah,
in the primary.
yeah. Well, he is probably upset that Donald Trump become the candidate when he was the candidate and he didn't know how to use the position of candidate president to become a president.
Well, McCain was a terrible, terrible presidential candidate. Terrible. My friends, he called everybody my friends. I'm not your friend. All right, just stop that. You know, say what you're gonna do. But he's a rhino.
I know, but let me tell you something, my friend.
There you go. Sound like McCain.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Clark Feeley. I don't care how bad McCain was, people should realize that he was better than Obama.
Well, everybody in the country except one is better than Obama. And that one, I think you know who I mean, the wicked witch of the Dems.
I don't know how he didn't win that election. You know, I wasn't that crazy about him.
Well, how did Romney not win?
Romney was even worse than him. You know, Romney was a wimp. A wimp. You know, I like people.
Romney somehow was too weak and he got set up. Somebody set him up. And Candy Crowley, that little incident with Obama saying, get the tape, get the tape. How did Obama know that Candy Crowley had a tape about the Rose Garden and what he said in this, you know, about the Benghazi? How did he know that? It was a setup. And Romney just weakened up. Romney did great in the first debate and he was miserable in the second and third. Miserable. Something happened.
No, I think Obama was bad in the first.
Well, he was terrible, but Romney was, you know, in comparison, he
The
was
only
putting him
reason
away.
that he looked good is because Obama was worse. You know, but
Well.
I think they got to them. I think they got to them.
Somebody got to him. And look at what he's doing today. Romney's one of the most destructive people in the United States right now, going against Trump. And who's he going with as a result of that? Oh, Clinton? Are you kidding me? I mean,
Now, you know,
Jesus.
now that you mention that,
Amazing.
that's the same thing that happened to Colin Powell. Colin Powell, that's another black man that he was not in the ghetto. He was somebody.
He's a 4-star general, for God's sakes.
He talked like a normal human being. He wear his pants in the waist.
Yeah.
Everything. I admire the guy. If he would have run for president, I would have gone for him. And he betrayed the Republicans by endorsing Obama. You know, I could never believe that. And now look what happened. He was betrayed by Hillary Clinton. Well, he told me to do that. Every time I see somebody in trouble and they accuse the other person, nobody put a gun in your head, lady. You did what you did because you wanted to do it. And that's the way it is. Nobody forced nobody to do anything. You know, and that's what bothers me about these people. But now, he got paid back. Now he was betrayed by Hillary Clinton and the
Well, who wouldn't be betrayed by her? She betrays everybody. And then if you don't allow her to, you know, snuff you whatever way, you become a dead body. I mean, there's a trail of dead bodies that follow these Clintons. It's amazing. I mean, I talk to people all the time. Nobody I know has a history where people are mysteriously missing around them. You know, the people, they don't have a history of a trail of bodies.
Well, with the exception of this last kid that was on his way to the FBI at 4 o'clock in the morning.
That's a Clinton associate.
You know, that's not, that was just a coincidence.
Oh, coincidence?
Yeah.
Along with the other 30 bodies? Another coincidence like Vince Foster? Found in a park with 2 holes in his head and no bullets?
And nobody investigated anything. How can they get to no investigate anything?
Because it's fixed. The fix is in. How can you have Lynch meeting with Clinton, Bill Clinton on a Tamarack
Oh,
airport?
that was an accident.
An accident?
How did he know that she was gonna be, how did she know that he was gonna be there?
It was just an accident. Now, let me go talk to Loretta about my golf score.
No, about his grandkid.
Oh, well then who was talking about golf?
I don't know.
I mean, it was a joke.
And then they call me cynical, for Christ's sake. They call me cynical. I don't understand why is that, I don't know. It's too much for me to take.
Why isn't this money coming from foreign sources? That is illegal. If you're a company, not a public official, if you're a company and you're dealing with a foreign government that's on a sanction list, you as a company, you can't deal with that country. Like GE can't sell Iran certain parts for certain stuff because they've been sanctioned or whatever. They're on a list. So if you as GE sell parts to Iran, you're guilty of a crime.
Yeah.
Well, if Hillary Clinton raises money from these countries, why is that not a crime? They're buying something from Hillary Clinton. They're not giving out of the goodness of their heart. And here's the Clinton Crime Foundation gives away not even 10% of their money to charity, to help people.
Which is, her own charity.
The Clinton Crime Foundation. Their finances are, I think one year they gave 8 or 9% was what they gave to like malaria victims and whatever their cause of the day was. That's it, 8%. The rest all goes to administration and flying around.
8% of billions is a lot of money, for those countries.
But let's take the 92% that they're not giving away. How much is that? If you're saying the 8% is a lot of money, how much are they keeping from people that need it? Victims and so forth, that they're supposed to be helping.
I know.
That's way more than 8%.
But they have to eat, they have to buy shoes, they have to buy
Hillary the other day said no one's getting a salary.
No,
from
you
the
don't
Clinton
need a
Crime
salary.
Foundation.
Expenses paid.
Do you really think Chelsea is not getting a salary?
You don't
I'd like
need
to
a
see her
salary.
tax
You don't
returns.
need a salary when you got a plastic card that you can buy anything you want. What do you need a salary for?
I guess you can go to an ATM machine and get all the cash you want too.
Yeah.
It's all phony accounting. These people are criminals. And they're running for office? Whatever happened to the appearance of an impropriety? Whatever happened to that language? It only applies to conservatives? It doesn't apply to liberals? Remember the guy with his hand underneath a stall at the airport? Some Republican senator or congressman? He had to get out of the Senate because the appearance of impropriety. Sarah Palin was governor. She had to step down because of all the investigations that were taking up all her time from political operatives that were trying to get rid of her. So she resigned from governor because she couldn't effectively do her job. How could Hillary Clinton ever have a day, an hour left in any day to do the job of the president?
And something came out today. I wasn't listening, but something came out. They found more tapes that she was sending emails out after she said that she doesn't have any more emails.
She's been saying that forever. The 30,000 were about yoga classes and her mother and Chelsea's wedding. Who ever heard of such a thing? And every picture you see of Hillary Clinton in her days as Secretary of State, what was she doing? Had the old phone, BlackBerry or whatever, right in her old hand there, and she was texting away.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This country is really, really stupid if you consider this bitch for president. I tell you what, you're a moron. I'll just say it. I don't know how else to put it. There's no comparison between a Hillary Clinton, a criminal, and a Donald Trump, who's down there acting presidential, because that's what he is. He is a leader. He's a leader of his company that he developed into a great success, and he negotiates with the Chinese, with foreign leaders right now over buildings and permits and construction and golf courses and whatever he's in a business of building all over the world. He deals with these countries. He's a great, great potential leader of this country. The best I've seen in my lifetime. And he ripped the rug right out from underneath Hillary on this Mexican deal. Ripped it right out from underneath.
I'm very proud of that.
She was invited to go to Mexico too, but she's too dumb to realize an opportunity when she's presented it. And then what does she do? She turns around and blames Trump for beating her out of it. You're going to turn around, spin it. And he's, you know.
She wasted the best time of her life.
Well, she couldn't have gone down there and said anything. She wouldn't have known how to do anything. Impossible. Nobody respects her around the world.
No, she would never been able to
no way.
do the same good impression that Donald Trump did.
No way.
I am very, very proud. I am looking forward to the November election. I am very, very much enthusiastic, and I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the brighter future for this country, because everything is going to
We got a lot of work ahead of us, but at least we can get some policies coming out from the administration that would be productive and start getting us on the right track away from the cliff. We're in a fast track to the end of this country.
In the meantime, I'm telling you that we are looking forward to this election, even if I'm not going to retire anymore. I'm going to thank you for inviting me to your show, and let's pray for the future of this great nation to be brighter than what it is today.
Let's hope for more rugs that Trump can pull out from underneath old Hillary. She's still reeling.
Hey, Mr.
But that's the way it goes when you're a Hillary Clinton. You have no ideas, you have no fundamental principles. Her idea for creating jobs in America is what? It's more of the same old, same old. Let's create shovel-ready jobs. That's her millions of new job program. Let's get some shovel-ready jobs, which are funded by taxpayer money, by the way, not funded by entrepreneurs, not funding a new, better way, a new, better mousetrap. Oh no, it's just more of the same old, which just sounds like something, but it's all empty air. These people have no substance, no plan, no nothing. Now, Trump today is going to be coming out with, I guess, the theory is he's going to be coming forth with a new immigration policy that he's working on to be more doable. And he hasn't changed his position on anything. What he's been doing is trying to figure out how to implement a good, solid immigration policy that this country can follow and actually do something about. No politician has ever handled the immigration issue because it's too hot of a potato for them to handle. So they don't want to do it, and they don't do it. And this is what at least Donald Trump throws it out there, puts it at the forefront, and that's the kind of leader we need. Somebody who raises important issues and comes up with a solution to solve it. And the Democrats, the progressives, the liberals don't operate that way. They wouldn't know how to for a second, and they never will. So all they do is yell and scream about Trump. He's not a leader, he's not this, he's not that. Everything they say out of their mouth, you believe the opposite. And you'll be right on the
Well,
money.
you said it, not me.
You'll be right on the money, because he is a leader. And if they say he isn't, you know he
I said
is.
I have lots of other
So that's
things to
the
do
way.
than run around. And all I do is run around.